Okay, it's time to update you on Metallic Waste, my project bike. So I found out that the front tire and the sidecar tire are both almost 20 years old. The tread's good. This front tire holds air, but I'm just too paranoid. I got two tires on the way. The back one's fine, but I've got two tires on the way because I'm going to be putting my kids in this, so I want it to be safe. I'll start up front here. I guess you can see that the brake bleeders are snapped off, and not only were they snapped off before I got it, I now snapped off an easy out in both of them. And these bleeder bolts, these banjo bolts with bleeders in them, they're not high enough, so I can't actually get the air out of this thing. And I tried taking the calipers off and tilting them, and I still can't get the air out of this system. So I've got new calipers on the way, and this is some aftermarket hodgepodge anyway. It was soft before, I couldn't improve it, so it's just getting swapped out. I've got a horn on here, new horn to replace the old one that didn't work, because you need that to be street legal. I've got the flood beam mounted. I've got the backing plates made for my HID lights that are going to go like there and there. Worked my way around. I switched all these bolts around so that the threads are on the outside so my kids don't hit them. I've got some foam on the outside here just to cover up some sharp edges and stuff my kids have been hitting themselves on. That one's probably the only one that's going to stay. All the rest of these I think the wind's going to rip off. But the reason I got that foam was to cover that bar in there because the kids were accidentally kicking it. This seat is mounted. I've got wiring back here for all my relays, my fuse block. That's my boat battery, and I've got quick terminals on the way so I can just use the posts and I don't have to use this actual hardware every time and wear it out, because that battery is going to go back and forth to the boat. SAE plug on here for charging if I need to, if it's sitting. I adjusted the shocks there, I adjusted the shocks there. I re-loomed this. I had some grounding issues, so I fixed that. You can see my wiring comes up to the bike. Fixed a grounding issue in the taillight. I ground these bolts down so that they're not catching my pants. These bolts hold the electronics to the inside of the side cover, and these bolts hold the side cover on, in addition to this safety wire that I added because this tab is gone. Starter solenoids down there, some wiring in here just to make the bike work. Basically anything electrical that didn't make the engine run in this bike had to be redone, because it had been obviously hacked up, chopped up over the years. But that's fixed now with the addition of this new switch, because the factory one, the blinker switch and the horn switch didn't work, and the high-low beam I don't think worked, but whoever had it before Lee, so I can't think, his name was Kevin, and then Lee got it back, and then now I have it. So I think it's that Kevin, the wiring for the headlight was all messed up, so I just tore all that out, redid blinkers, brake, headlight. This is all for my auxiliary switches for my auxiliary lights and my future GPS. I could wire it into this 12-volt socket. It's all extra ancillary shit. I lubed the choke cable, so that works now. I rerouted the clutch cable because it was getting pinched by the tank. All that wiring comes up to the headlight, a bunch of new wiring in there. The horn works as soon as I get my fuse block and my relays over there. Again, brake repair stuff is on the way. Carburetors are off because I am putting bowl seals and float seals in it, and then that should go on and it should run. Got the tank fixed. I just need to do oil change, spark plugs, and lube the chain. I did put a new air filter in it because the old one had been eaten up by mice. So that's where I'm at. That's where Metallic Waste is at. That hissing noise you hear in the background is me burning off the last little bit of my propane so I can turn that into an auxiliary fuel tank for this thing. So that's where it sits as of today.